Hey, welcome into the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast. How you doing? I'm Ron. That dude over there is John Yaglenski, my partner in crime, guru, tech guru, everything. This wouldn't happen if it wasn't for John.
Right.
So we thank him immensely for
Sure.
everything that he does for the podcast. And it is Thursday. Yeah, we had to do Thursday because we had a tech thing going on Tuesday. And then I'll have a scheduling thing for next week as well. But we'll get to that.
Oh, goodness.
But welcome into Thursday. It's just a couple of minutes past 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern and just past 8 on the Pacific Coast. And so
yes,
it's warm. It's warm where I am. There was that, what do they call it? The heat dome.
Stop.
There was not a lot of wind.
Stop.
There wasn't a lot of wind.
You're buying into the hype.
That's what the dome meant, was there wasn't a lot of wind. That's what it meant. Okay. And so it just kind of sat there stagnant. So you didn't have any cold fronts coming through.
Yeah.
We didn't have any rain for like 5, 6, 7 days.
So you've got a flash drought then, right?
Yeah, we did. Is that what it's called? Is that the...
I swear. Dude, I'm not making this stuff up.
I'm just saying. So it was a little dry. It was a
flash drought.
It was a little dry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we had thunderstorms blowing through last night. I got to hang out with my grandson last night.
Cool.
Because the greatest wife ever, daughter of the elder, the theaters where we are, they're called warehouse theaters, and they have big corrugated tin, and they kind of call it like a warehouse, but it has a full bar, full menu. The popcorn's pop fresh,
Nice.
They have the big wide, you can get heat on the seats, or you can have them cool.
Really? They do cooling too?
They do cooling too. And,
air cooling,
you put your feet up and you have the desktop that you can put your drink and all that stuff. You can eat in the theater. It's fantastic.
Right.
So they also have, like, in the middle of the week, they do specials. Like daughter of the elder and I went to go see Batman 89 in the theater again, which was fantastic. Of course, this guy started to fall asleep because that's what I do now in front of the movie.
Wouldn't you say Batman 89, like the one that came out in 89 is
the original
in the theater? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, with Michael Keaton and all. Yeah, up on the big screen. Got Jordan, daughter of the elder. She's my Batman girl. Carolina, daughter of the younger, is my Spider-Man girl.
All right.
And she's not a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man either. She's a Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
So confused.
He was digging those when they came out. Okay. Anyway,
right?
Because I inundated them with the Batman and the Spider-Man lore, so to speak.
The Batman.
I did. I love that stuff. And so they went to go see, because it was a re-release, or they brought it in for one night. There was a film league, and it was the Phantom of the Opera. And it was 2003, I think it was, with Gerard Butler was the Phantom of the Opera is here. So they went to go see it in the theater. I was supposed to go, but then anyway, circumstances where the daughter said, "Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna. I don't have a sitter, so I'm gonna sit at home with my son. But you two go." And I'm like, "No, I will take him. This is a movie for you and your mom, and I will pick him up." And so. We first things first, had to go to McDonald's. Boom, and we sat there in the car and we parked so we could just watch the cars drive by on 40.
Isn't that a song?
Parked in the it is a song.
Go ahead.
But we sat there,
all right,
and watched these cars going by. Mm-hmm. And so you pick a color, and then and then you count them as you go by, and however many go by, you win. So of course. David, my grandson, the GS1, he picks white. I mean, we didn't even get to park. I'm like, you can't pick white yet. Well, I haven't picked my color.
It's not a color.
He picks white.
It's not a color.
It's a white color. Okay.
It's a primary.
You know what? I'm not really going to get into an argument with a 5-year-old whether it's a color or not.
Well, I would see if I were playing the game. All that I'm saying is that the most common colors should be out. Essentially, white and silver should just be out.
White and silver. Now I was going to pick silver, and I thought, I'll get crazy. I'll do red. So I did red.
That's a good one.
There was a red Jeep. So I had one, and he had 5. Then I had 2 and he had 12,
Oh,
so it
yeah.
was something, it was like
I know.
35,
It's not
35
it's
to
not even close.
4. Yeah, it was not even close. Good morning, Joanne. Joanne is posted up if you're watching us live on Facebook
How'd you
and
win?
also on Twitter, and we're also on our YouTube channel. So
Yes.
make sure you smash
I
that.
think we've fooled everyone today.
I know we did. I didn't even put a post up yesterday, anything where it said,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
we're doing tomorrow. That's my fault. That's my
Okay.
fault.
All right.
I did mention it on Tuesday. I did a Facebook Live on Tuesday, and I went back and looked at it. I'm like, man, you were looking rather rough. And I was trying to play again. It was Tuesday, which was half Christmas, which brings me into what I wanted to talk about.
Leon.
Leon, or half Christmas. But I was
Right.
talking, anyway, I'm hanging out with the GS1 last night. So we had McDonald's first, and then we played the cars thing, and then, hey, can we go and get ice cream? I'm like, okay. So we went and got ice cream. He's rolling through it. He's got cotton candy ice cream. I just got vanilla. Greatest
Right.
wife ever always makes fun of me because I get vanilla. She's like, it's
Nothing
boring.
wrong with a good
I
vanilla.
love vanilla.
I love vanilla
It's
too.
my favorite flavor. And I just couldn't. It was like, spoon. I'm done. I should have gotten a children's. It was like, I'm full up here. But anyway, we went home and I took him back home and then read him a story. Now,
Yeah.
I said, what book do you want to read? And he's got all kinds of books because I want to read Dr. Seuss's The Sleep Book, which I know we gave to him, but we can't find it in the house.
Why don't I know that one?
I don't know what happened. What, the Dr. Seuss's Sleep Book?
Yeah. Why don't
Oh, it's my all-time favorite Dr. Seuss book.
I don't know this one. Why don't
the news just came in from the county of Keck that a very small bug by the name of Van Vleck was yawning so big you could look down his neck. This doesn't seem very important, I know, but it is. That's why I'm telling you so. And then you move into all these creatures going to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. There's the curious crandalls who go to bed with assorted sized candles on their top of their head. So the wax drips and it wakes them up. They yell, ow. Then there's the what was the mup? The 3-tufted mup or something like that. He's got a super long tail. So before he goes to bed, he bites his tail. And then as it makes the trip around, 8 hours later, then he yells, ow, and wakes up. I
have not heard this one. Why? Dr.
Seuss's The Sleep Book. Oh, it's my all-time favorite. I need to get a copy just for me, just so I can have it.
You should, if it's your all-time favorite.
It is my all-time favorite. I just remember my dad reading it to my little brother, and I was just so that was it. I loved it. I loved it.
This is like a later Seuss book or something.
I don't know. Hang on. All right. Well, now we're
trying to figure out why I am so unfamiliar with this.
Let's go to the Google machine.
Unlike Horton Hears a Who, or
And well, it was Yertle the Turtle. It was in that era.
Right.
The what was it? The Sneetches.
The Sneetches. Yeah, exactly.
Stars on Thars. The star-bellied Sneetches.
Hop on Pop.
Hop on. Well, that was for young readers. One fish, two fish, red
valid.
Fish, blue fish.
Right, still valid.
I'm not saying it wasn't valid. The Sleep.
Ron is consulting the Book of Knowledge right now.
Yeah, I am. Dr. Seuss's The Sleep Book. Dr.
Seuss's.
I want to see what year it came out. EUSS, The Sleep Book. Dr. Seuss's The Sleep Book. Up there it is. 1962. 1962.
62. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that was before John.
Yeah, but that would be at the end of the that would be the his books came out in the 60s, right? Or 50s, didn't they?
I really don't know.
I don't know either. But anyway, the Sleep Book is my all-time favorite.
It was like they were just there.
It was preceded by the Sneetches and Other Stories and followed by Dr. Seuss's ABCs. So there you go. Dr. Seuss's The Sleep Book was right in the middle there. Yeah, the Herkheimer Falls, the Castle of Krupp, the towns of Culpeper Springs and Merced.
Nope.
The Hinklehorn Honking Club has just went to bed.
Wow.
I love that. I love
seek this out and just read it.
You got it. You have to. It's a fantastic book. I love this book.
I mean,
it's the best book ever.
Okay.
So I did not read that book to my grandson because he didn't have it. But you know what he did have? He handed me the little golden book Little Golden Book. So there was
Right.
there's the Pokey Little Puppy and all of those great titles.
Right.
And the monster at the end of this book, which is the Sesame Street book. No, this one was just called Taylor Swift. It was a biography
What?
of Taylor
Golden
Swift.
Book?
It was a Golden Book biography, Taylor Swift.
Huh.
So I read it to him.
All right.
And she's from West Reading, Pennsylvania, which I knew. And because my cousins lived there, my aunt, uncle, and cousins.
Is that the swanky side of Reading?
I have no idea.
But
she grew up on a Christmas tree farm as a kid.
Okay.
And one of her jobs, that's why she loves Christmas so much. One of her jobs was to pick the praying mantis pods off of the Christmas trees so that people wouldn't have a surprise when they took it home. Surprise!
Right?
The praying mantis. That was one of her jobs. And so I told my GS1, I'm like, did you know? I said, let me play something for you. So I pulled up my phone, I pulled up YouTube, and I pulled up the song Christmas Tree Farm by Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay.
And played it. And there's actual footage in there of her. Huh?
Was she singing? I was pulling praying mantis pods.
No, that wasn't on there. No.
It's like work that into the song.
She did. No, she did not. She did not work into the song.
I'm so disappointed.
I'm pulling off praying mantis pods.
Right.
No, she did not.
Like how you went to the falsetto there. That was very good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it's a great song. I love it. It's one of my favorite Christmas songs of hers.
Well, good.
And it's based on fact because she grew up on a Christmas tree farm. Anyway, I just thought it was really interesting that I was playing and we were reading the Little Golden Book biography of, and then of course I'm explaining the difference of a biography and an autobiography to my 5-year-old, soon to be 6-year-old grandson, and it's like probably shouldn't, might be a little over his head, but still, he listened to me. He's like, okay, and he's nodding. You never know where he is. His vocabulary, I'm just gonna brag on him. It's just amazing. He's like, follow me, and the house is very colorful, and I'm like, wow, all right, great.
Yeah.
So anyway,
okay,
we celebrated half Christmas on Tuesday, and by celebrated, I mean I put up a couple of Facebook posts, and I got like crickets reactions. I think.
Hold on. You've set off the cricket alarm.
Here I did. Hang on. Here's me putting up a half Christmas post, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm waiting for all the likes and all of that, and I get this.
Yeah, wait, hold on. I did it again. Here we go.
That's what I got.
Yeah,
that's what I got.
Yeah, nothing.
Ixnay on the post. Yeah, no, I mean like two or three people were like, yeah, okay, ha ha ha.
I mean, you're not the only one. I mean, Disney Parks put up their halfway to Christmas stuff and previewed all their Christmas merch and Christmas shows and things. It's a thing.
I was telling greatest wife ever, I'm like, after, because July 4th is a week from Thursday,
right?
And on July 5th,
is it?
Yeah, Joann's is going to be full of all of their fall, autumn.
Yeah, it's going to do the switch over
the day.
Right?
Yeah, the day
pumpkins
after.
And
she said, "No, it's already out." I'm like, "What?
What?"
She's like, "Yeah, fall's already out in some of the stores."
Oh,
I'm like, man, that hurts.
Okay,
that hurts a lot. Actually, I think my light's a little bright. Hang on, where's my?
Yours? I was thinking mine's a little dull. Which is
I'm a little bright. Where is it? I can't find it.
Isn't that weird? We both at the same time.
We're not gonna worry about it. Here we go.
Hold on, I could do this. Wait, hold on. Now I'm really bright.
It's like I've never done a podcast before. Okay, here we go. I think I'm better.
The professionalism that wins the audience.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah,
they keep coming back for more because of this.
Is that why?
Yep.
I have.
Yeah,
I don't think so. So so my half Christmas went over like a toot in church, but whatever. That's what happened.
I don't know. Sometimes a toot in church is pretty funny.
But this wasn't.
I don't know.
People weren't into it.
No.
So,
well, maybe it's like, let's get to the 4th first.
You know what I did though is I did watch a documentary. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
And because my all-time favorite version of A Christmas Carol is Scrooge, the musical.
You and my wife.
Right.
Correct.
Right. Oh, that's right. I did. Did I know that? I don't know.
You did.
So I love that.
Finney.
So they made and it was made just for the movie. It was written for the movie. It was the same guy, Leslie Bricusse, is the same guy who wrote all the music for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory back, with Gene Wilder, and so that
a good one.
World of Imagination. I like the one with Timothy Chalamet. The one with Johnny Depp is the one with Timothy Chalamet.
The latest one?
Yeah, Wonka.
Oh, that was awful.
You didn't like it?
Borderline unwatchable.
Wow.
I watched that on one of my plane things going.
I liked it okay.
Really?
I liked it. No? Did you like the Johnny Depp better?
No, Johnny Depp's creepy. I haven't liked anything since the original. I'm sorry. Gene is it was so hard to top. His performance in that was just so
I don't think
epic.
They were trying to top it. They were trying to compliment it.
It didn't work for me.
Okay. All right. I liked it.
I know. I mean, the opinions are,
Yeah, I know.
So
everybody's got one.
Everybody's got one.
And I know what you were saying. I know what you were going to say. I know that saying.
They're like noses.
I know. Is that what it is? It's
That's
like
exactly
noses?
what it is. As far as I'm concerned.
That's not what I heard.
We're sticking with that. Leave it to Jimmy Horn to bring some clouds to the event here. Friend of mine.
Wonka was really good. I was saying it was really good. I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
I thought it was middle to average. It was just, that was I didn't think it was terrible like the Johnny Depp version. I thought the Johnny Depp version was terrible. I agree with Jimmy there.
I get where Tim Burton was going with the Johnny Depp version, and I did like the Oompa Loompas, and I liked all the music that Danny Elfman did, all the songs. Oompa Loompa,
like the Elfman.
They were good.
Yeah.
Augustus Gloop. But you couldn't understand the lyrics because of the but the I don't know, the Johnny Depp, right. I did though warm up to, because I had a bit that I used to play on my morning show on Fridays, which
Good morning, Starshine.
Yeah, good morning, Starshine. The earth says hello.
That was podcast number 1, by the way, folks.
And then we have, was it really?
Yeah, that's how we opened.
Is it really?
Show
I didn't remember
1.
that.
Yeah.
And then we had from that movie, Greatest Wife Ever, and I still say this because we have squirrels that come and visit us up on the deck when we're out on our deck drinking coffee in the morning, and they come up, and sometimes we give them nuts. We give them salted peanuts, and they're like, it's a little salty. But it's like, oh, look, it's a squirrel. That's from the Johnny Depp, I want a squirrel. Daddy, I want a squirrel. Anyway, Leslie Bricusse wrote the music for the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and he wrote the music for Scrooge the Musical.
Okay, good.
They eventually adapted it for the stage, and it had toured all over, and they had Anthony Newley play Scrooge, and this is in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
And so then they brought it to London's West End, which is their version of Broadway. And there is a half-hour documentary about it on YouTube, and because it starts in July, they're taking pictures of Anthony Newley in the Scrooge garb costume, because they wanted to, and they were doing this in July because they wanted to get ahead of it, and so it's all about building the sets and getting the and it's I've always wanted to see the stage version. I'm just really surprised nobody's ever brought it to Broadway. There are musical versions of A Christmas Carol that hit Broadway, but and they play in Washington D.C. too, but it's not that one. It's not those songs. It's different songs.
I feel like to bring it to Broadway, it would just be a ton of money, and they'd have a hard time recouping the costs. But unless they started in July or August, like Disney does with the holiday stuff.
Well, maybe you might be right, but I think they
just for the compressed run, it would be tough. Probably
Christmas stuff sells out. Christmas stuff.
Yeah, they could probably. Yeah,
huge.
They could bring it back every year. Probably.
You're never gonna not have.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what did you say? This is like the battle of the radio voices, but who's is better? Tough call. We don't engage in that.
We don't. Yeah,
Jimmy.
we don't.
No, nobody's like, who's better?
No.
Who's a better DJ? We did work on the same radio station at the same time.
Ron's better.
We never. Oh, listen to John.
Oh,
We
you
did.
you made a career out of it.
You had
You've
a.
refined your
Is
craft.
that what I did? I was just working from
or,
job to job.
or something. Yeah, I see you repping today, by the way. That's nice.
Oh yeah, yes I did. We had to run out to the grocery store, and I just threw on a t-shirt. But I got to see it's got the street team. It's a street team.
Street team. All right.
I know. I was this was in the laundry, and my greatest one member was like, "Why you're not on the street team? Why do you have?" I'm like, I just grabbed it. I wasn't
So,
thinking.
do people then see the shirt and then expect to get stuff when you're in the grocery store? Like, hey,
No,
the street team's here.
nobody engages. They don't
No,
engage.
no.
No, I
I
never. Yeah,
remember, back in the day when I worked for Light 100 WVUD, and we had a van. Like, I always occasionally got to drive it, and I always thought it
yeah.
was cool driving the
Uh-huh.
van. I thought people would be, recognizing you and waving to you and stuff. No one cared.
Nope. Nope.
Zero.
Ixnay.
Zero interest.
Ixnay. They'd like to cut you off in traffic because they wanted to get those cool insurance dollars in case you ran into them.
What?
I've done that.
That too.
I used to drive the Hot 99.5 Nissan Xterra home because it
Oh,
was a 4-wheel drive, and it was
right. In case you had to
snow,
come in,
and
right.
I was like, "Well, I'm not getting a hotel room." They're like, "Well, then take the
Take the Xterra.
take
No
the
one's
Xterra,
using
take
it.
the Xterra,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to drive into work." And I'm like, "Okay." And so yeah,
And then
but
people would
yeah,
try
the
and
people
cut you off.
cut you off all the time, and you got strange looks. And
That's funny. That's
the
actually
thing I thought was
true.
interesting about
Yeah.
working in radio, and it's
Yeah.
interesting that Jim brought that up,
Yeah.
is that when you say where you work,
Right.
people feel obligated to let you know that they don't listen.
Oh, I don't listen to that station.
I don't listen to that station.
What?
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks. What are you, a lawyer? Yeah, I don't use your law firm. You're a plumber? Yeah, I don't use you
What
guys.
is
I
the
use this other.
obligation? I don't get that. Or
I don't know.
like,
I don't
or
know.
I
It's a
don't
very
like that
personal thing.
station.
It's a
Yeah.
very personal thing. They have to
Yeah.
say, I think I've listened to what is that? 103 is a, and it's an eye opener too, because it's
Right.
everything to me.
Right.
All right.
It's your
But when
world,
somebody's
man.
in the car and
Yeah.
you're operating a motor vehicle and you're
Yeah.
not looking at the dial, you're just hitting buttons to get your favorite song, right? So you're not really engaged
No.
with the radio. So to try to punch through that, all those distractions, you're driving a car,
Yeah.
you got the kids bouncing around in the back seat, you got whatever, you got things on your mind about work or just life in general. You're not really paying attention to, hey, that DJ is pretty good. You're not.
No.
It's hard. It's hard to crack that.
Ron, we're the station even the boss can agree on at work.
I know.
That's it. You're just background music.
No, but
sometimes.
that's the I can't talk.
That's all right.
That's the star, though, is the music. Music is the star, so
It
you're always
is.
highlighting the
It is.
music, and
It is.
that's why they're there. I want to listen to the music.
Right.
So,
Unless you're in talk radio.
right. Well, then that's a whole different.
That's a whole different genre.
I'm talking about music. Yeah, music radio. So tomorrow
What were we
is.
talking about?
I was talking about watching the documentary on Scrooge.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it's pretty good. So I'll send you the link. You need to show your
Yeah, my wife would
your wife
appreciate
the
that.
documentary. It's really cool. It's all very behind the scenes. And the orchestra they had to strike the stage after Grease had run there for like 3 years. And
Oh,
so this was only going to run from November through the end of Christmas.
right.
Scrooge the musical, so they had to strike the stage and get all the Grease stuff out of there. Then they had the set pieces that were built off site, and they trucked those in, and the wrong ones were in, and trucks were breaking down, and they couldn't get into the theater. And then there was a power outage, and then the orchestra actually couldn't practice in the pit, so they had to rehearse in the hallway at the bar where the bar is.
Good
And
grief.
it's a whole thing.
Wow.
And then their doors are getting stuck. And they couldn't get into. They had a dress rehearsal, and then they had their first preview that night, and then opening night was
Oh my
2
goodness.
nights later. I mean, it's
Wow.
like, oh
Wow.
my god,
Compressed time
yeah,
frame.
it was
Yes.
pretty cool though. It's really cool to see. And you're talking, they interview like the producers and all that stuff, and they talk about the money that's gone into it. And he said, yeah, it's about 500 pounds a minute. For the rental, the electricity, all of the, just from the minute they walked into the theater, they're spending 500 pounds a minute just to get everything. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Holy
Maybe that's
crap.
why they're not doing this on Broadway.
Right. I mean,
they
that's
did,
just it. That's what I
but
was
ticket
saying.
sales, they recouped all their loss.
Did they?
They already had the rest of the run was sold out, and they recouped the cost of the show, period. And then they made a profit off of that. So
yeah.
And the reviews were kind of so. So I'll send you the link to that. It's really, 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 really cool.
Good.
Tomorrow is Daughter the Elder's birthday.
Oh.
And I was gonna have her on, but she had other things she had to do. She had other pressing engagements. I wanted to have her on because I wanted to talk to her, but because I like to talk about her memories. I always talk to people on their birthdays about what their earliest memory is. John, what's your earliest memory? Do you remember? Do you remember your earliest memory?
I had a speed racer race car that I got for Christmas. I remember that, and it was in an apartment that we lived in before we got our first house.
So that's going to make you what? 3, 4?
Really? I don't. Maybe 5-ish.
5-ish.
I'd have to look and see. It was, but yeah.
Do you remember kindergarten?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
All right. Yeah, 5. I remember being in a
car.
It
might have been before then. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, because that was Doylestown where we lived, Doylestown, Pennsylvania. That's where I kind of grew up. But we were
home of Alicia Moore, otherwise known as Pink. Go ahead.
She's from Doylestown?
Yes, she is.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
I had a paper route in Doylestown.
Did you really?
Oh, heck yeah. Through the center of town. I had to ride my bike like 3 miles or something, 3 or 4 miles every day.
And was it throwing it on the porch, or did you put it in the paper box out front?
It depended on what people wanted you to do.
Oh my goodness. So did you fold the papers? You had to pre-fold all the papers. So you got it, and then you had to sit there for half hour and pre-fold all the papers.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
How was your accuracy? Did you get it up on the porch?
I mean, yeah, I was pretty good at that kind of stuff.
Right. Was it the frisbee throw or overhand throw?
No, it was the frisbee.
It was the underhand
definite frisbee. Yeah.
The frisbee throw.
Did not do it. No, because I put it on the side, so I, like.
Oh, you had the bag. You didn't have the basket in the front.
No, I had the paper bag.
A paper bag.
Yeah, like an actual that the newspaper gave to you.
Okay. The bag, not a brown paper bag, is what I was thinking.
No, the paper. It had the name of the Daily Intelligencer from Doylestown, and I would put my papers in there very neat and then do the thing. And some customers wanted it in the slot, some wanted it on the port. You'd have this written out. You just would know after a while.
After a while,
you knew which ones were the ones that. And then there was an Arby's on the way. I think I mentioned this before.
I think you've talked about
that my paper money never came out right on collection day because
there was an Arby's on the route.
I loved the roast beef and the curly fries.
I wonder if it's still there, the Arby's.
I haven't looked. I'm gonna. You know what? Now I'm gonna have to get off and look in Google Maps and see if
did it have the giant. What is it? The hat.
It had the hat. There was the hat. It was like an original. This was again the 70s. So, I mean, like when I remember, like we didn't have a McDonald's literally in our town. We had a Burger King and an Arby's, but Doylestown, and we had a Geno's.
Everybody goes to Geno's. Geno's is the place to go. Gino Marchetti, Baltimore Colts.
Gino had the Giant, which was
Gino Giant, which was the Big Mac.
Yeah, essentially a Big Mac.
Everybody had a double-decker burger that had Thousand Island dressing on it.
It's funny, but we didn't have a McDonald's. It was a big deal when we got our first McDonald's.
But the Big Mac, and I think I've mentioned it before, is a ripoff of the original sandwich, which was the Big Boy.
Oh, from Frisch's or
like Bob's Big Boy or Shoney's or whatever. The Big Boy burger was the double decker.
Yes.
2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. That was the Big Boy.
Right.
And then this guy invented the burger at a McDonald's and called it the Big Mac
instead of the Big Boy. Not a stretch.
Yeah. Not a.
Oh, that's funny.
Still think it's their #1 seller.
Yeah.
So
anyway, sorry to take us down.
No, you're fine.
You
about
went to
memories.
Doylestown.
We were
with
talking about
Pink,
memories.
and
I did.
I did. Okay, so
Um,
that was early elementary school, and then it must have been before that, where I could remember it just because my parents have a picture of it. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of my memories now are of pictures, not
Right.
of the picture
The
being
actual
taken
moment.
or actually
Right.
being there.
Yeah.
Which brings me up to another point that I was going to talk about.
Okay.
But on her first birthday, all right, it was we did outside over at my sister-in-law's house
Mhm.
because we were still living in an apartment, third floor, walk up, POS with roaches
Oh my.
everywhere,
Oh my.
everywhere. And yeah, you walk into the kitchen, turn the light on.
Ew. Oh, ew.
They did. They scattered. They were everywhere. But that's what we could afford at the time. And so we were over at her sister's, the greatest wife ever sister.
Yep.
And so it was outdoors. And so we rented a video camera. So this would be her first birthday. So that she was born in 87. So this would be 1988. Renting a video camera, which was about that big.
A full size. Yeah.
On my shoulder. All right. So I was the videographer. Aside from being dad and Grace whatever, and it's all the things. She's wearing a little frilly dress, and we had the cake, and smashed the cake and all that stuff.
Right.
And we invited, and the whole family's over there because it's not, she didn't have any friends. She's 1 year old. So I'm walking around with this video camera. I have, I'm going to say 6 hours of footage. 6 hours of footage
of walking around with
her
a video
first birthday.
Oh wow!
Of just shooting. I just shot everything. I had no idea.
Yeah.
How to. So
no
we
editing,
and it's around here somewhere. I don't know where it is. And it was the full on VHS tape. Wasn't even beta.
Oh yeah, the full
it was
size.
a big.
Yeah,
it was absolutely. A big. Like that.
No, that's the way you did it back then.
So for the next day, I had a hard time seeing because this eye was focused about an inch away. I had no depth perception.
So stupid, but so funny.
I did because it used to fascinate me that inside there was a little TV display.
Yeah, there's
like you weren't looking through a lens; you were looking at a little TV display. I'm like, oh man, they made a TV that big.
Yeah,
and so yeah, that's my memories of her first birthday.
Okay.
Then we started doing when we bought this house. We did, so that was 96. Okay, so she's 9, 10, whatever. Mm-hmm. So she's well established in school and has a bunch of friends, and so we're gonna have a birthday party, and it's summer, so we're gonna do it in the backyard. So we decided, because at that time the Super Sloppy Double Dare was a huge TV show on Nickelodeon, and Daughter the Elder was a huge Nickelodeon fan.
The guy
Mark Summers.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Mark Summers. Yeah. So we decided we were going to have a Super Sloppy Double Dare birthday party outside.
Oh, Lord.
In the backyard. So it was pouring creamed corn over top of the kid's head. We didn't make slime. We didn't have slime. We didn't, but it was, it was Simon Says. And of course I'm beating all the kids, and Simon said I was Simon. And Simon Says pie. So every time the kid went out, they got a pie in the face. We had to.
How many pies did you go through? Did you make?
Well, no, they were just little. No. So what we did is we got the little paper plates.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we got a case of whipped cream.
Okay, there you go.
And then it was just like whipped cream, and then.
Now you'd have to show your ID to buy that much whipped cream.
And then or go through a restaurant.
Right.
And the I don't know. Should I have a confession time here? And remind me. I'll tell you something.
Okay.
Something I did later.
Okay.
No, maybe I'm not. I'm not going to. I don't know.
Don't do it.
I'm still friends with a bunch of people.
Yeah, don't. No.
So we had the big case of whipped cream, and then what we would do is we would put and then there was always a water balloon fights and water balloon fights. So then we put all of these paper plates all around the yard, and we did the whipped cream, and then we just unleashed the kids, and it was a free-for-all whipped cream pie fight. Except more often than not, all the kids would gang up on whoever the guest of honor was. Well, it was daughter of the elder, daughter of the younger, whatever. And it was so she had. Now, how are we going to clean these kids? So, greatest wife ever had a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the plastic drop cloth that you can get for painting,
Sure.
because it was rather thick ply, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we doubled it over, and then we ran it down when there's a slight slope in our backyard, and then we put baby shampoo and liquid soap and all that stuff on there, and it was going to be a swimming relay. So the kids had to get on their bellies and swim through this. So they were going to get soap all over them. And you had to do a backstroke so you can get it in your hair, because by the way, dairy out in the hot sun,
yeah, that probably
doesn't smell great
stinky,
after
right?
a while.
Yeah.
And we're telling them, please don't eat it, because probably not good.
Right.
And so, and then you'd spray the kids off, with the hose, with the cold hose, with the like try to wash their hair. So then that devolved into kids just running and sliding.
Yeah,
So
slip and slide, baby.
that became the highlight, was the super slide. That was it. So that's all they did. They lined up for a good hour and slid, and they were,
and did you just keep
hosing? Going
yeah,
down.
kind of, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Had to hose it down, and so it turned into that. So fast forward, I don't know how many years, because then once daughter of the elder was too old for these kind of parties, and daughter of the younger was having these parties. So gosh, I'm gonna say it was like 5 years ago, I think.
Okay.
I'm riding the train into work, or I'm sorry, home from work. I used to work in downtown Washington, D.C. I had to take a commuter train all the way down, and I'm taking the train back.
Yep.
So I'm getting off the train, and I'm and it was a double decker, and I was on the lower deck, and I'm walking up the steps, and my foot kicks back, and it hits this young woman. I don't know if I hit her in the shoulder. I don't think I got her in the face. I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And this young woman, professional woman, very put together, has got a briefcase and all this stuff, looks at me and she goes, Mr. Ross?
Oh, Mr. Ross.
Okay. Yeah. Like, I used to come to daughter the younger's birthday parties. She said, that was the best time I ever had when I was a kid.
Look at that.
I'm like, wow. Because we told the parents, look, when you come to pick them up, they do need to go in the bath. We tried to clean them off as much as possible, but they are going to get messy and sloppy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, so it was.
In other words, put something down on your car.
Put something down on your car, put them straight in the bath or throw them in the pool, whatever it is. And clean them off immediately. Get them in the shower. Wash that hair, especially the hair. With dairy in the
Well, you created some memories. This is a good thing.
We did, and some random young lady who works down in Washington, D.C., and she's like, my name is, Ashley or whatever, and I don't know who she is. And she's like, yeah, I came to one of your daughter of the elder's birthday, and I just loved it. And we talked about it every year, and we hear that from parents too, that were like, they're dying to come to the party. So it was apparently and it was just a backyard. We didn't have a pool or anything. We had a sprinkler. We had a hose.
Back in the day. That's all you needed for fun,
right? And I had the music was pumping. Had the little kids.
The party was jumping. The music.
Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Kids were sitting out there dancing low, low, low. I'm like, all right.
Were they doing that back then? I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were.
All right. I wasn't really sure. Okay.
Well, the song low, low.
It's been around that long.
Huh?
Goodness, it's been around that long. Wow,
dude.
I know.
Been around that long.
I know it is. Every time
definitely has been around that long.
Feel old, but yeah, no. Actually, we were talking about that the other day. Just when we were kids, the things were just simpler to have fun. Yeah, there you go. Some plastic on the ground, a hose, and slip and slide time.
And gravity.
A sprinkler in the backyard was good enough. We just run back.
Sprinkler in the backyard. Sprinkler was always that was our thing.
Yeah,
the sprinkler.
We didn't have a pool.
And you had to wait for it to go a couple of times so that the grass was soft, because usually the grass was like
crunchy and sharp. Yeah, I remember that.
It's sharp. On my bear piggies in the backyard. We were just talking about this too, with the sun going down, because we just had passed the first day of summer, the summer solstice. That was the longest day of the year. And now days are starting to get shorter.
Yeah.
And but still the sun's up until like 8:30 or whatever. And we got into the conversation where when I was little, so I'm going to say at least 7,
right,
and maybe younger, is, my bedtime was 8 o'clock. Didn't matter if the sun was up or not. And I remember my parents putting me to bed with the sun. I'm like, you've got to be
I remember
kidding
that.
me.
Yeah, it's like, how am I supposed to go to?
I can't sleep. I'm just laying there.
Back then,
I can't sleep. How
Mom.
can I sleep? Especially when I hear my neighbors in their backyard laughing and scratching, having fun. It's like 8:30 at night. Sun's still up, and I'm like, oh, this is torture.
I know. It was terrible. But I mean, this goes to the other thing. Like as kids, real quick, that we used to play a game out in front of our house. We had wires because we had overhead wiring rather than underground back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Telephone poles and wires and stuff like that. Okay,
gotcha.
So we had a place where a wire went across the street in front of our house.
Okay,
and we would play what was called wire ball. Are you ready for this?
Gotta know what that is.
Okay,
is it like volleyball, but that you had to get it up over the wire?
So it was a form of baseball where if 2 people could play. All right. So you had the guy with or girl with the ball. Okay, tennis ball in this case, and somebody on the other side of the wire. If the wire were here, there, whatever. Anyway, on the other side with a glove, and you would essentially throw the ball up and try and hit the wire.
Oh, and hit the wire.
Okay.
Oh, that's hard.
If it went over the wire, then the person had to catch it. And if they didn't catch it, the number of times it bounced was first base, second base, third base.
This is rather involved.
I know.
Nice.
If it hit the wire,
you?
This was, I don't know how who came
with
up with this.
Neighborhood kids? I like the rules of this game, though. This is pretty cool.
If it went up and hit the wire, and you didn't catch it, that was a home run.
All right.
And if you went under the wire, that batter struck out.
Wow.
And you would play whole games literally doing this and
in the street.
In the street. By the way, car.
So, we had God, I can't believe you brought that up. This is just a
simpler time. This is, this is what I think I was getting to, no phones.
We had a wire coming off now where I grew up in Mechanicsville, Virginia, outside Richmond, suburb of Richmond.
Ball.
All right. We had the block of houses, all right, in our houses, and our backyard backed up to the neighbor's backyard. Okay. So there was a seam that went down the middle of the block.
Right.
Where those houses faced the other way and
yours faced that way. Right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Got it.
But there was a phone pole in the back or electric pole, whatever.
Yeah.
And the wire hooked up to our house. So it just drooped across the backyard.
Sure.
That was when we played football. That was for extra points. You had to kick. That was our goal. You had to kick the ball over the wire.
I love it. It was
great. But we had
as kids.
When we actually did get to stay up and stay out when we were a little older, it was a massive neighborhood game of hide and seek. Now, I was explaining the hide and seek game to the greatest wife ever, and she's like, "Oh, it was kick the can." I said, "Well, there was no can
to kick,
but it's the same. It was the same principle, which was you went and hid, and there were teams."
Yeah.
All right. And then you went and hid, but your goal was to get back to base and not get tagged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the goal, was to sneak around and get back.
But it was the base was the pole.
The base was the base was our we had a gym set in the backyard, a T gym set that had a swing on it, and it had the rungs where you could, go hand over hand across.
Monkey bars.
There was rings on the other side. Yeah, monkey bars. It was a gym set.
Yep.
And then eventually we built it was supposed to be like a tree fort, but there was no tree. So basically it was like a shed. My dad liked to call it the shed house.
The shed house?
Shed house.
Shed house.
Shed house.
I'm getting
ED.
Yeah, I get it.
But
I get it.
It was a little clubhouse. But you didn't want to go in there in the middle of the summer because it was hot. And you're like
300 degrees. No,
but that was base. Base was in our backyard. And so you had the Tigners, who was as you're looking at my house to the left. Then you had the Blaylocks, Kenny and Michael, who were to the right, brothers. Then the
Right.
Bondurants, which was
Yeah.
the third house down. And we didn't have the Kinneys because they had a fence around their yard. But we never went over to the other side. We never went to the other side because our backyard they had a fence. Anyway, so it was those 4 yards and the front yard. And but usually you tried to stay in the backyard. Front yard was all kind of off limits, but not really.
You wander more than 4 or 5 houses away,
then it was just hours and hours we were out. And it was, until the sun went down, and then probably like 10 o'clock, we wouldn't go in until 10, 10:15, something like that. Invariably, somebody's, Andy's mom would call him. He lived across the street.
What are we,
call him across the street? What? I'm telling you, it's Andy, Joe, and Ronnie, and then Keith and Kay, his twin sister. And although she very rarely played with us, and then Kenny and Michael, and then was it Tommy up the side, neighborhood friends, man.
Trying to remember all
massive,
it
was a massive, and then that was also where we played the football on the. You just played football regularly, and we would wear helmets and pads.
Of course, pads. Yeah, we did
full on tackle, man.
We had pads,
full on tackle, man.
Yeah.
And but I think the 3 yards, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 yards that we had was probably longer than a regular football field. I mean, if you broke free and you're running for a touchdown, you're like, you got a little tired. Half the time you got caught because you were just too tired, because it was a very long field.
So you had that in backyards.
In the backyard, yeah. And then the boundaries, of course, the out of bounds changed from yard to yard.
Yeah.
Right, because they had a driveway, so that was out of bounds.
We had these fields behind our houses where eventually I think they were going to build things, but they hadn't, and the parents just started mowing them.
Okay.
Before we knew it, we had like a makeshift baseball field. And, and we had worn out dirt areas, and then we got the idea. Well, let's go to Sears and ask them if they have any leftover paint they'd give us, and they did, and then we painted lines. Like
painted lines. Wow.
For baseball. Yeah, like
nice.
Paint, like real paint on the grass.
Did you use the string and get a plumb line?
Yeah, we kind of did.
Straight line.
And with a big, big brush, and
beautiful.
It was pretty straight.
I love that.
Again, inventive. We didn't need a baseball park. We made our own.
Well, we also, for
wiffle ball and stuff.
That was right. Yeah, right. Across the street, there was a field. There was an empty lot next to Andy's house, and they never built on it.
Where Buzz and Woody were. Okay, sorry. You keep saying Andy's house. I'm sorry.
His name was Andy. There was no Buzz and Woody.
I'm sure.
And he was my best friend. He's the one who turned me on to the Beatles, actually.
Okay.
He was big into the Beatles as well, and he had a stereo. We'd go in his room and listen to stereo. I had a record player. He had a stereo. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
wow. But anyway.
But you digress.
We're running out of time.
We're running out of time.
I didn't even get to the question of the day.
I know.
I'll get that in a second.
All right.
But because actually, Greatest Wife ever and I were talking about memories of summer as a kid and running around. And actually, last night when we got home, I took my GS1 outside. We were gonna catch fireflies, so we had a jar. And we're chasing the fireflies.
We don't get those here.
But it was 2 lightning bugs. I don't know why I said fireflies. Lightning bugs. And it was too dark, though. They were there, but they would flash, and then you couldn't see them. You have to get them a little light so you could still see the bug. Yeah, we couldn't. And but he was spotting. He was my spotter. Because he's like, no, you do it. You do it, Granddude. I'm like, all right.
I don't want to touch the bug.
He wasn't going to do it. Yeah. But we had a jar, and I was going to punch holes in the top and all that stuff. I just remember the daughter, the younger, caught we caught a lightning bug, and then what are you going to call him? Lighty.
Lighty.
Lighty, the lightning bug.
That was like Andrew when he got a pet. Or not a pet, but a stuffed seal, because we went to SeaWorld or something like that. And what are you going to call him? Sealy.
Sealy.
Okay.
Sealy.
Sealy. All right, Lighty and Sealy, got it.
You know what? That's going to be, and that we will talk about this. So,
Okay.
you listening, gather up, and I'll post it up on the Facebook page.
Right.
Gather up your toddlerisms from your kids, or maybe stuff that you said, because there's one I still get hammered to say. I'm almost 60 years old,
Yeah,
and my dad still brings it up because
parents do that.
I mispronounced the word.
Yeah,
I mispronounced the word once.
Okay, we'll hear about that on the next
episode. They never let it go. Let it go. I don't know. Maybe it's just a great
memory. That's a tease that we call it in the radio.
That's a tease, right? With our radio.
That'll get you to tune in.
Radio voices.
That's right, Jimmy. That's right, Jimmy. Wow. All right. We need to do the thing.
I was talking to the intern yesterday. We have an intern
at
the radio station. I love interns because they get to teach. I love teaching.
Yeah,
and so I've had her on the control board, and it's so funny to see her all nervous. I'm like, press the button, press it now. And she presses the button. I'm like, no, not that one. And I'm kidding. She's like,
ah! Oh no. Oh, see,
I know. I did it once. Now she knows.
I remember the first time I went live, how nervous I was.
Yeah. So I had to, we're running a phone call, and I press this button and look at that one, and
it's intimidating.
Yeah, but she's getting there. She's very serious about it. She was taking notes, and she wants to go into journalism. I said, "What do you want to do?" She goes, "I want to co-host the Today Show." I said, "All right,
like the goal.
Let's get you there."
Yeah, so, like the goal. That's
so
good.
I gave her homework.
Okay,
I need you to write me 5 news stories. Good. I want an expository, I want details, and I want a conclusion, and I want all of those. Give me in 5 seconds.
Yeah, you got to earn that internship,
please. She's doing well. She's doing really, really well.
All right, we need to get to the Q of the D.
Do we really? All right, because it's time. It's time to get the gray matter working. Fire off the synapses against for the low form new neural networks. Utilize this cerebrum. As Pooh says, it's time to think. Dang. It's the question of the day, or the QOD. Playing for pride, not prize. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Everybody ready?
The first one of these happened on TV in 1956. 4 years before the one everybody thinks was the first one to happen. I should have said to happen. What was it?
Okay.
What was it? All right. The first one of these happened on TV in 1956. 4 years before the one everybody thinks was the first one to have happened. On TV.
On TV.
What is it? Yeah, TV. Now, I'll give you a super duper give it away clue. Ready?
Okay.
Think about things that happen in 4-year intervals.
Okay.
All right. And put your answers
I know the answer. It
put your answers down in the comment section. Put your answers down in the comment section.
And good luck.
Yeah. I was looking that up.
Okay. Well, I see what you're doing right there.
You see? You get it?
Wait,
you get it? All right. Good. Oh, John, what's going on, brother? Are you too cool for school? John, if you're just listening, John put some sunglasses on. Are those your normal? Are those polarized lenses? Oh no! He's got his jaunty captain's hat on. John, hold on.
What?
Time out, freeze.
There's a reason I'm wearing these.
Why do you have a captain's hat? Why do you have a captain's hat?
Because the company I work for, IEEE USA, we're doing a cruise. By the way, anybody can go on it if they want to.
Ooh, when is it?
To Alaska.
To Alaska?
In September.
From where's it taking off from, or departing from?
Seattle,
going to
Seattle to Skagway, Juneau, and a couple other places.
When?
September, I think it's the 9th through the 16th. Go to
my birthday weekend.
.IEEEUSA.org if you'd like to join me on there. But that's why I have a captain's hat, because I am the cruise director.
You're Julie, the cruise director?
Right.
You're not Isaac,
No, well, bartender? I would rather be Isaac the bartender. Or Gopher.
Gopher, the purser.
Never Doc.
He was the purser.
Yes.
Excuse me. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Here it is one more time. The question of the day. The first one of these happened on TV in 1956. 1956,
Mhm.
4 years before the one everybody thinks was the first one to have happened on TV. What was it? All right, let's go to our answers that have been submitted on
All
our
right. So the first
Facebook
one that
page
came
and
in
the comment
was
section. Yes. Camera on the Moon,
no,
Susan.
and then
That's a
Susan,
very, very good
it's a good guess,
but that
but
is
she said, strike my answer.
oh, strike my answer. All right, because that's incorrect. But all right, so
But
we'll
it was
strike
still a
the
good
answer.
one. Okay,
Strike
ready?
that, reverse it.
Next one?
Yes.
Yes, good.
Right. Celeste, the Olympics.
Pretty
All
good
right,
guess, too.
that's also good because
In a
you're right. Those
4-year
do
interval.
happen in 4-year intervals.
Used to, right.
No, they
Okay,
still do.
but
They
it's
still
incorrect.
that is incorrect.
All right. I think we've got it on the next one. Zach comes in and says,
Zach says presidential debate. Boom, there it is.
there it is. Now, why did you say it was 4 years before
Because
that?
everybody thinks that the Nixon Kennedy was the first televised debate. It was not.
Okay.
It was Adlai Stevenson and was it Truman? No, not Truman. Eisenhower.
Yes.
1956, 4 years before.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that. By the way, props to second place Pride.
There you go. Nice job, Joanne. She said presidential debate.
Yep.
Very good.
And that was
Yeah,
all
they
right.
had all kinds of presidential debates, but the first televised one was 1956.
Nice.
4 years before everybody thinks, everybody credits the Kennedy and Nixon sweating, in his upper lip, and he was wearing gray and he blended into the background, and that's where.
Yeah, the flop sweat.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
the studio was hot, apparently.
Yeah, well, it's hot underneath those lights, man.
Right, apparently.
And so
it
it wasn't that he was nervous or anything,
No,
but
it doesn't matter.
everybody credits or thinks that's
By
the
the way,
one, but really it was
these
4
were-
years before.
These were my Captain Joe aviator glasses.
Oh.
That was why I put them on. Because doesn't he wear these kind of things?
I don't know. Does he?
I think
I
he
don't
does.
know.
Like
I
the
like
old style
aviator frame.
aviators.
I like aviator frame.
I don't know.
I would go before I got these, which
That was
are
why.
photosensitive, and
Right.
I actually would go to the dollar store and and I would buy like 10 pair and just place them everywhere because I would lose them all the time. I've never had any really.
Exactly.
Celeste says that makes sense. That is today, isn't it? Yep, that was
Yeah, it
my
is.
inspiration because there's a presidential debate tonight. I'm not
Mhm.
going to discuss any more
No,
about
we
it.
don't.
I'm not giving you.
No, just- Hey, if you want to watch it, watch it.
That's all I want to say. Greatest wife ever has. She went to the movie last
I'm
night.
getting some
she
popcorn, personally.
She reserved popcorn. She
I
has
am.
it for.
Oh, heck yeah.
She has it.
Oh, heck yeah.
She has it reserved, ready.
And
to
we
watch.
may or may not pull up some sheets on if they say certain things.
Oh, the bingo card. Do the
Yeah,
bingo
yeah,
card. Yeah, you got to do it. You can do a bingo
do
card.
that. That'll
too,
be
if you want.
fun.
It's funny.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm straying away from politics. I'm just bringing it up as a fact.
Yeah,
That is
it's
what is
happening
occurring.
tonight. Everybody
That
knows
is what is
it's happening.
occurring tonight. So that was the
Yeah.
inspiration for the actual
Got my red, white, and blue on.
the question of the day. All right.
Indeed.
So
All right.
next week, I will be indisposed on Tuesday, which is July 2nd.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna have to move it. Obviously, it's not going to be on the 4th,
Correct.
which is Thursday. So maybe Monday, maybe
Thursday.
Wednesday. It depends on what John tells me.
I'm off
we
next
will-
week. So
we'll
mom and dad will be
consult.
here. But
Oh.
other than that, mama
You
and
want to take
Poppy
all
will-
next week off then, John?
No, I mean, I'm just saying I'm off. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
available.
Okay. Oh, I see. All right. Well, we'll watch the Facebook page
Okay.
and my Twitter or my X. I don't even know. I don't know what to
Whatever.
call it anymore. I'll watch my socials. There you
Right.
go. And I will post it up when the next one's going to occur. But thank you so much for listening to this one. And you can obviously get it, re-listen to it anytime you want on wherever you get your major podcasts, all the major podcast outlets. You
That
search
thing.
for it and it's there. And I have also posted I mentioned this on Tuesday. I posted 2 interviews I've done now in my Conversations podcast. Two. One is Jimmy Brown, who is the drummer in UB40. So I had a nice conversation with Jimmy and me being a drummer. So we kind of got into some gear talk. I always take them down a road that they didn't expect to go. And they're like, wasn't expecting questions like that. And so it was great to talk to Jimmy. And then I talked to John Cooper, one of the co-founders and bassist in the band Skillet, which is, if you don't know anything about Skillet, they're alt rock, pretty heavy and hard Christian band. But they're pretty heavy and hard. But it's always great to talk to John from Skillet. So those two in my interview podcast called Conversations, and I'll post the link also up on, and you can get that wherever you get your major podcasts as well. Just search Conversations.
Nice. And while Ron's plugging right there, check out the
Let's hear yours.
Intercot Insider podcast. If you're a Disney fan, just go to the Intercot page on Facebook.
Intercot spelled
INTERCOT, the Internet Community of Tomorrow.
There you go. That's where he got it.
There you go. 1997.
I always wondered.
There you go. Now you know.
Now you know. Now you know. The more you know.
The more you know.
All right, listen, please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. Happy birthday to daughter the elder Jordan. Her birthday is
Go USA tonight.
Go, yeah.
Playing soccer. The foosball. Go USA.
Who are we playing?
I don't want to say because I'm going to get it wrong.
Okay. All right. Well, go. I'm
going to mess it up.
All right. Men or women's?
Oh, men. Men are playing tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
all right.
Second round of
qualifying
the
round
Copa.
for the Olympics.
No, this is the Copa America tournament that's going on right now.
Okay, cool. So, all right, great.
But we're getting an idea of whether we have a good team. So
I see.
I wanted to say Panama, but I'm probably wrong about that. But we'll see.
All right. Yeah. John's probably wrong.
I'm probably wrong.
But they are definitely playing soccer tonight. All right, listen, please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be
for
safe.
The debate.
John Yaglinski, Ron Ross, love you, mean it. Bicycle.
Panama. It's Panama.
Okay.
Bye now. Bye-bye. Hit the end stream button. Hold on, Sam.